cool little video thing. We started out with Rindersella. We did that when we went to the water skiing thing. So Heidi's going to slice that in.
Oh, good.
And then Mom wants you to do the scripture thing, scripture in F.
All right.
So go for it.
Let's see. Feeling footloose, free, and frisky, a feather-brained fellow forced his fond father to park over the family farthings, and he fled forth to far foreign fields, where he frittered away his fortune, feasting fabulously with faithless friends. Finally, facing famine, filled with foreboding, and pleased by his fellows in folly, he found himself a feed slinger in a filthy farmyard. Phooey! My father's farm is far fancier, the fragile fugitive fumed furiously. He finally fled forth to his father's farm and fell at his father's feet and foundered forlornly, "Father, I have flunked," and fruitlessly forfeited family favor. The forgiving father, forgetting future flinching, finally forgave the fellow and flagged forth the flunkies to fetch the finest fatling and fix a feast. The fugitive's fault-finding freighter frowned on such fickle forgiveness, but fussing was futile, for the forgiving father found such fidelity fine. Let's not forbid festivity, for the fugitive is found. The fanfare flaring, let fun and frolic freely flow. Forgiveness forms the foundation of future fortitude.
Yay!
Is that okay?
Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, the next thing is I've asked you kind of, I asked you ahead of time, as you know, to kind of talk about some of your favorite memories of your children. Maybe you could start with the oldest and go to the youngest and just recall a couple of things that you are some of your favorite memories about them, beginning with Leah.
When he gets to Bart, have him do the one about the deer and the orange.
Well, I think it was Carol Aiken that was Leanne's friend, and she had a driver's license. She just barely had got her driver's license. And so I said, well, why don't you take the car, you two, and just go just a little ways, maybe a block or two or more, a little bit, and then come right back. Okay. But the next thing I knew, I was getting a telephone call from a bit of a tearful the aunt. And she said, "Oh, I've just wrecked the car down on 22nd West and 4100 South. And you better come in." So I went over and they were both pretty repentant because Leanne had talked this Carol into letting her drive the car, although she had no driver's license or didn't any experience with driving. And so anyway, the police were there. And this woman that Leanne hit, well, she was kind of feigning an injury or something to her neck or something. And the officer said, "You come off from that, lady," she said. He says, "You're not going to pull that kind of, fake injury." And anyway, I was quite angry, as you might imagine, because they both kind of lied to me, about, certainly about, had no permission for me for Dan to be driving the car, or even for the other gal to drive very far, And, but my dad, when I told him, said, "Well, maybe it's a blessing." He said, "A lot of times an event like this will cause somebody to come up short and get them off in the pathway that otherwise they might go down quite a ways, So it might be a means of stopping something worse." And anyway, and earned the money to pay back on the cost of the accident.
Yeah, she became a cashier at the grocery store.
Hmm?
She became a cashier over at the grocery stores, I remember.
Mm-hmm. But she probably learned a thing or two there. She's pretty perceptive at learning things. Well, she was just a bright girl, is all. She was very bright at her schoolwork and very fast to pick up. She got the Betty Crocker Award for, what was it, for being the best in the class, as far as the cooking instruction and abilities. But she didn't get all the goodies out of it because she got married too early. She was doing the things that they talked about doing in the class, and she did them very effectively. And she didn't have to work overly hard to do it. She didn't have to burn the midnight oil. She just natively was very perceptive and very brilliant student and girl. That's all. So, and her life has shown that too, that she can compete with most anybody. It's very capable, very, very capable and brilliant. But I don't know too many things that were. I guess I do, but I've probably forgotten so many things. I can't bring them to mind much with it right now.
Well, that's good. Mom just brought a picture. Let's see if we can hold it up. I don't know. Hold it and see if she brought a picture when we were younger. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, there we go. It's coming in. There you can see Leah and myself and Cindy. And who's the tall one?
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Good heavens, you look like a teenager, Mom.
We were going over to a fashion show that the Relief Society was having in the 13th Ward. And so we all dressed up and went to a fashion show.
Awesome. How fun. Okay, cool.
Let's see.
You don't remember that picture?
Not at all.
But I don't have
You
my
look
scanner.
like a teenager.
I don't have a scanner here, and so I can't.
Well, Dad, now you get to do little
Well, I
old me.
did. I was thinner
I mean-
then, and
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about Patty now. She's always been the real spiritual one of the group, of the children, and she's had some hard times too. Easily she's sick, get sick very easy, and be quite sick too, quite ill, and still fight through them. Things were not as easy, I don't think scholastically, as they were for Leanne, but she would work through them and work and get her work done, and she was very responsible and was conscientious in every way, and she would have the attitude of prayer more than either myself or any of the other kids. She'd really was very sincere and very attentive to duty, and tell her what to do and give her assignment. Why, it'd get done, and it wouldn't be all easy either. Yeah, Patty was a bright light in all of our lives. She Now, you had your fair share of girlfriends too, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had quite a few girlfriends.
When I was older, more than when I was younger.
And we would take trips down to California and other places and take some girls, either Ann's friends or yours, and
Yeah. I had some friends.
go with, and
Jeanette and
worked out good. Once into Mexico, we did.
yeah.
Yeah, Patty was plenty of fun when she felt good. Plenty of spirituality all the time. Just an excellent daughter to have. I wish we had a bunch more like her.
Thanks, Dad. How about Cindy? Let's hear about Cindy.
Well, Cindy was an ideal daughter, and like Anne, she was real brilliant. She top of her class, and good looking, pretty girl. Here again, the type of daughter that anybody would want. And she got a bad deal on the deck of cards, because about as bad as you want to have when you got brain cancer on the one hand and husband suicide on the other one. You just about one of those would deck anybody, and to have them both, why, It's unbelievable how bad of a hand she got. She had a great deal of faith and has always had a great testimony like Patty had. Sincere in the church. But of recent years, why, it's been harder for her because she has this short-term memory, and it's easy to get irritable when there's sources of friction like that. Tell somebody to do something and they don't remember that you told them, or don't do things on time. Problems develop. Been real hard because